Alex, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
You've had an amazing summer, as we all have, of watching amazing women's sport, but for you especially, watching Arsenal win the Champions League, watching England win the Euros, with two old teams. How special is that? What sort of sense of pride does that give you?
Already you make me emotional with that question, because I think it's such a great moment for women's sport, and I think yes, the Lionesses inspired so many young boys and young girls to want to get into football, but when you look at the women's rugby at the moment, they're having that moment that the Lionesses managed to have, not even just this year, back in 2022. So I don't know, I just think there's this whole new narrative around women in sport now, that there's different storytelling and there's so many, role models within female sport that I absolutely love it.
And Renee Slegers, when she accepted that award on Monday, spoke about that journey, that investment, everything that Arsenal have done. You being part of that history, but what does that say about Arsenal as a football club, that they've really put that time and investment in?
Yeah, I think that's what, when you go back to Vic Akers, even to David Dean, I don't even know if a lot of people know that name, but he was the chairman of Arsenal. He had to go and knock down doors to be like, we want to start a women's team. This club should have a women's team. And, the unsung heroes like your Vic Akers, your Hope Powers, and, obviously the sad news of Matt Beard, they put in the graft. They were the ones really battling and to make people believe in women's sport and get that funding and get it to where it is today. So yes, there's stories around certain players, but I tell you what, there's so many people that deserve their flowers that have put in the work to help women's sport get to where it is at this moment in time.
And people talk about Chelsea as being the favourites to win this competition. They're desperate for it. What did Arsenal do last season that Chelsea need to try and emulate this year in order to get their hands on that trophy?
When I think about Arsenal in that final, it was a real team effort. It really wasn't about one individual performer or the star names that they have. Everyone left everything out there. Like you said, Renee Slegers, she had a game plan and every single player executed that. And then the subs, the finishers coming off the bench and having their moment. They would have been gutted not to be in the starting 11, but they knew that their part mattered, and you just saw a real team effort, and I think that's what's needed if you're going to lift that trophy this year.
And we've seen Alessia Russo develop so much as a player with her assists and her goals. How much further can she go? How good can she be?
I think you've seen a player just develop and evolve over the last couple of seasons to an all-round game, and actually people's opinions of her change, because ultimately, yes, she is a striker and a goal scorer, but I think the pressure that she's had to replace someone like Ellen White, I think now that is totally gone, and we're seeing a real Russo step up and own being that position, and that I suppose that person of the moment as well, because sometimes the pressure and the media attention can get to you, but you can just see how humble, grounded, and football comes first for her.
And 2 years in a row with 3 English teams in the Champions League. It's a great time for English football.
It really is.
And I guess, what does that mean in terms of the landscape for the football of this country and the league?
It's great. When the WSL started, that was Hope Powell's dream, and she envisioned it wanting to be the best league in the world with the best players, not because when I was playing, I wanted to go and play in America, because that's where all the best talent, the Martyrs, Abby Wambach, the Alex Morgans, I wanted to be playing alongside them week in and week out and make every game competitive. Whereas when I was playing for Arsenal, we'd go into a game knowing that we might win 5-0, and not that there was an arrogance, but there was a divide. The league there wasn't parity across it, where now you never know what's going to happen, and I love it that you've got all the best players from around the world wanting to come and play in England.
And for a team like Man United, their first time at this stage, what should they be hoping to do and get out of this year?
I think it's great that they've made the competition for the first time, but as a player and as a team, it's not enough. You want to be like, yes, we are here, we're not just making up numbers, we're going to prove a lot of people wrong, and I think they're doing that at the moment in the WSL, and now they need to take it into this competition.
And Disney having the Champions League rights is incredible. I mean, I'm a big Disney fan myself.
I love that.
My question to you is, if you were a Disney character, princess, otherwise, who would you be and why?
I'm going for Mulan, only because I think she, sums up the whole female empowerment. I think strong, intelligent, and to make other people believe that there's a place for you, no matter where it is, that you can aspire to be anything or anywhere that you want to be.
one of the best Disney songs of all time as well, that one, I'll Make a Man Out of
See,
You.
I'm not going to sing that.
I'll do that another time. And finally, if you had to pick, if you can, there's so many players, could you make a five-a-side Champions League team?
Oh God, no, that's too hard. Yeah, that's too hard. And I think
You're on the spot.
there's so many great players now that you're just like, I'd want them in my team. I want to play alongside that player, but no. And I think that's why I'm glad that I'm this side now, because I get to celebrate them all.
It's the beauty of the league, right?
It is.
The beauty of the Champions League. Thank you so much, Alex.
Thank you.